And welcome to the evening rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. How are you? How are you precisely? Are you doing okay? Are you doing fine? Are you good? Welcome to the evening rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachuku and it's an interesting day, trust me, because we have quite a lot of issues to discuss. Issues ranging from the appointments and registrars of the UBEC board by the President, Executive Chairman, also asking for nominees for INEC registrars as well to be passed. These were some of the things the President was able to put up today, and also the House of Rep urging the defense headquarters to set up military base in Edo to actually combat a rising insecurity. I'm sure you know what happened in Edo State, I think today. Yes, Benue, Edo State, where some youth actually burnt down some of the building structures owned by some supposedly rich people because of insecurity. They even brought the vigilante, that's the guardsmen in the area, who were killed by terrorists, that is headsmen or headers as they are called, and they brought them to the secretariat and they're saying enough is enough. So during plenary session today, the lawmakers urged the federal government through the defense headquarters to establish a military base in Uromi Esan Northeast local government area as a strategic measure to enhance security in the region. But they're saying it's not enough. They're saying that the insecurity has left residents living in constant fear and psychological distress. In fact, they identified hotspots of criminal activities. For example, the criminals predominantly operate along the rail route from Uzea to Uboha, Amidokeng, Udo, Eko Ibadan, and Ubeaja and Ewohimi in Esan Northeast, Esan Southeast region. All right, so there was a voice vote called by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, and the House adopted the motion. Subsequently, the lawmakers directed the Department of State Services, the Army, the police, and other relevant security agencies to launch an intensive investigation to address the worsening security in the area. Now, that is not the only aspect where there is insecurity. In Ondo State, there was a killing in about 3 communities of 20 farmers by headers. All right, that's not the only place. It's also happening in Enugu. If you listen to the World News at 6, we discussed this, but we will still talk about this because I actually want to speak with someone whom we all know. If you've been following us here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM, sometimes on the Political Spotlight or on the Igbo program that takes place in the morning, where you will hear Madam Pinto, that is Lolo Neka Chimezie. She is the President Igbo Women Assembly. You know, she is currently in Enugu State. We'll be speaking with her to give us, a breakdown or an update on what the security situation is like in Enugu, because there was a recent protest organized by the women there complaining of what these headers are doing. There are calls on the Southeast governors to speak up and do something rather than being quiet. They're asking the SA media, the SA on security, why are they keeping quiet about this invaders taking over farmlands, displacing persons from their settlement and their farms? And it feels like the Southeast governors are weak-kneed. The Southwest governors, I think last month, they were able to come together to strengthen Amotekun. It hasn't depleted the invasion or marauding of this supposed Fulani terrorists in the farmlands, but they have made an effort to do something about it. So aside from Anambra State now, who have recently put up a security outfit, what about the other states? A security outfit that is meant to ensure that the people are safe and not taking it upon themselves to kill or disturb innocent indigents in their region or in their homes, because we know what happened in Imo State with Ebubago. So these are the aspects we need to look into on the Lagos State. Oh, well, hello. Obasa clashed with Moji Miranda and demanding the return of 5 billion naira withdrawn from Lagos Assembly bank account for vehicle purchase after she became speaker. Isn't that interesting? Very interesting. In the short time that she was a speaker of the House, apparently, Obasa is saying that why didn't she wait for a few more weeks? Why is it that within that short week she approved 5 billion naira to be removed from the account of the state government to buy 40 units of 2025 Toyota Land Cruiser SUVs, one for each lawmaker, shortly after she was sworn in as the Lagos State first female speaker? Speaker on January 13th. So this is another serious crisis that is brewing in the Lagos Assembly. And this is because Mr. Obasa is angry that she did not wait for weeks to pass before she withdrew 5 billion naira. So following his re-election as Speaker on March 3, an order allegedly influenced by President Tinubu, Mr. Obasa began pressuring Ms. Miranda to return the 5 billion naira, arguing she lacked the authority to approve the withdrawal. All right, Ms. Miranda was the speaker for 49 days, and it ended after intense pressure from the president on lawmakers and all Progressive Congress leadership in Lagos State to reinstate Obasa. So apparently, Mr. Obasa had planned to disburse 7 billion naira before his removal to purchase 45 Toyota Fortune SUVs for 40 lawmakers, one for the House clerk and the remaining 4 for himself and his 2 wives. But what happened was, in as much as he had planned for that money, Miranda took it. When she became the speaker, she removed 5 billion. She removed 5 billion naira. It's quite funny. The situation has further created unrest, with lawmakers refusing to return the Land Cruisers, unwilling to swap the 2025 models for the less expensive 2020 Fortuner SUVs planned by Mr. Obasa. So Mr. Obasa planned for a 2020 Fortuner SUV, but Ms. Miranda actually bought a 2025 model. So she removed 5 billion naira, all right, from the treasury, from their account. Meanwhile, Mr. Obasa had the same motive, all right, to purchase those. He had actually planned to disburse 7 billion before his removal to purchase 45 Toyota Fortuner SUVs. So I don't know if it is surprising to a lot of us that this is currently what is taking place, but that's basically what it is. These are lawmakers are meant to fight and focus on the interests of the constituents they represent, but this is basically what is going on. It's actually quite an interesting scenario. President Bola Tinubu has formally requested the Senate to confirm the appointment of 5 nominees as resident electoral commissioners for the Independent National Electoral Commission. And this was a letter addressed to the Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Now, remember that we're asking to see how an independent person, not nominated by the president or the executive, whereby they will easily be influenced, all right, to be in charge of INEC. And that's the reason why it always feels like INEC is compromised, and that any election conducted under that constitution, or rather that under that institution, is not transparent, as a lot of people would have expected it. Well, apparently the president has sent it to the Senate president, and obviously we know that this 10th Senate does exactly what the president wants. So there are 5 nominees submitted for confirmation. They include Umar Yusuf Garba, Kanu State; Saad Umar, Bauchi State; Chukwemeka C. Ibeziako, Anambra State; Mohammed I. Ingoshe, Borno; and Dr. Owede Kosioma Eli, Bayelsa. All right, so these are basically the members for INEC. They're mandating presidential appointments for INEC positions to be subject to Senate approval. All right, the appointment of 5 nominees as resident electoral commissioners. We haven't yet heard of INEC chair, because Mahmoud Yakub's tenure will soon expire, and obviously he will not be the one in charge of the 2027 general elections. But these ones are resident electoral commissioners, which is why I'm wondering why the president needs to be the one to send names to the Senate president for consideration and approval. That was not the only nomination too that was passed on to the Senate by the president. He's also seeking a nod for correctional service boss. That is also another separate letter, and he nominated Nwakuche Sylvester Ndidi as the Controller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service. The nomination aligns with Section 3, Subsection 1B of the Nigerian Correctional Service Act 2019, which stipulates the appointment process for the agency's leadership. So we'll be looking into that as well in the course of the conversation today. Now, I don't know if you guys heard that there was a story that was circulating that the new judge assigned to Nnamdi Kanu's case. You know that Justice Binta Nyako recused herself, and Nnamdi Kanu actually argued it in court the last time. Well, they assigned a new judge. Nnamdi Kanu was actually happy about it. But here is where things got a little bit dicey. We now heard reports that the new judge assigned stepped down. That the new judge assigned stepped down, that because he feels that Nnamdi Kanu's case is quite tedious and they don't want to be in the mix. Well, this particular story is untrue. The new judge of the Federal High Court, Abuja, to whom the treason trial of Nnamdi Kanu is assigned, where we're expecting that hearing notices to the parties will be presented before this week runs out. So before Friday, a hearing notice will be presented to the parties involved, which means the representative of the federal government, the legal counsel of the federal government, and the legal counsel of Nnamdi Kanu will be getting notices before this week runs out. Okay, so apparently the case has been reassigned by the chief judge of the court, which is Justice John Soho, from Justice Binta Nyako to Justice James Omotosho. So it's no longer Justice Binta Nyako, it's now Justice James Omotosho. As of today, it is not clear if the case file has been transmitted to the new judge's court. Hearing notices and other relevant information could only be communicated to parties after the new court is seized of the case file, and the court's chief registrar, Suleiman Hassan, has faulted reports that the new judge to which Nnamdi Kanu's trial is assigned has been withdrawn. So James Omotosho has not withdrawn from the case. It continues that the story circulating in that regard is untrue. All right. So it is important for us to get this clarification. But by Friday, a new notification on the case will be heard, and then we'll now know how this case will continue. So according to the clerk of the court, he's saying that the claim is entirely unfounded, fictitious, grossly mischievous, damaging in intent, and should be disregarded in its entirety. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Evening Rush. My name is Esther Wachuku. Quite a lot of hot topics or hot take on our social, economic, and political landscape today that we'll be looking into. I actually have via the telephone Madam Pinto. You know, I already told you that I'll be speaking with her today on the program because she's currently in Enugu at this moment. Lolo Neka Chemeze, Madam Pinto, she's a president Igbo Women Assembly. She's in Enugu at this moment, and she'll be giving us exactly what the security situation is like, what the state government is doing about the header invasion in so many communities and farmlands after the protest that was organized by the women. There was a blockade. I'm sure you heard of that last week or 2 weeks ago. So she'll be giving us a breakdown of exactly what is going on right now. Good evening, Ma, and welcome to the Evening Rush. How are you, Ma?
I'm good, Esther. Good evening. Good evening, viewers. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Now, please, can you give me an update on what exactly is going on in Enugu? You remember the protest, right? Whereby we heard about this Fulani invaders taking over farmlands and killing people. The state governor said it was not Fulani headers. The state governor said it was some criminals who were the ones involved and trying to put it on the Fulani headers. That was in Ebonyi State. Now, in Enugu, there have been complaints of killings of farmers in their communities. Some communities have been deserted. We've not heard anything from the state governor, Peter Mba, and so there are calls from the youth to do something about the insecurity bedeviling the farmlands based on what is currently going on now. Can you give me an exact scenario of what you have observed?
Unfortunately, Esther, this is happening. You know, I've said it time without number that there is a plan. There is a plan to overrun Southeast and to take over Southeast by Fulani. That was the agenda of our former president. Can you tell me, Esther, how come Fulani herdsmen has been rampaging all over this country and nobody says anything about it? Even the press, you will hear it in the press and it will go down. No public discussions about it. But you will see innocent young men that are protesting the ill treatment like this. They are being killed, hunted, arrested from their houses. Now, the situation in Enugu is still the same. People come out and cry and shout, and the news goes down, and again they keep killing. It wasn't the state government that made that statement. It was the local government chairman. That the women came out to protest. You can imagine what it took the women to organize themselves to come out and protest. The local government chairman, who is the security officer, the person in charge of security in that local government, came out and denied that it was not the Fulani herdsmen. The question is, did he go to the farm with this woman, with these women? Did he go to investigate? Now, these Fulani herdsmen kill as if they have the right. In fact, the federal government gave them the right to kill. About 3 days ago, we had that they attacked a village in Nassau. I mean, this is not hidden. It is not hidden. They do it. They take over. The worst part of it is that they will attack a village, sack the village, and take over and live there, and nobody says anything. The security of person says nothing. So that is it goes a long way to show that it as if there's an agreement to cede some part of this country to Fulani herdsmen. And you know, it's in history that Fulani herdsmen have no land of their own. They're like parasites. They will move to people's land, occupy it, and stay, and even rule you. That was how they overran the north. So I think what they did in the north is what they are pushing, they are trying to do in the southeast. There is no two ways about it. Are you talking about Kanu? What about 3 days ago? They came out on the road, shot, and shot the driver dead, and abducted the passengers. It took the effort of the vigilante groups to ransack the bush and fish them out. Now, this is a place where you have more than 30 checkpoints, police and military checkpoints. In the southeast, from Owerri to Enugu, you will get more than 50 checkpoints. And the way the checkpoint is set is, you will stay at one point and see the other checkpoint. How come they came out on the road? On the same road they were manning. Now, with the way police and army are stationed on that road, in fact, there's no how an attack will go on for 2 minutes that you will not see about 3 stations of police roadblocks coming to that houses. These people held people on the road for like 2 hours. Now the question is, where were the military men? Where were the policemen? So it goes a long way to show you that what is happening in the south is well planned. But the point is that people are putting a lot of pressure from all over the place. They've been able to. This is what the militaries were doing. The militaries were actually shielding the Fulani herdsmen. While they will come out and abduct, they will say it's IPOP. While they will kill, they will say it's IPOP. A lot of evil going on in the south, both kidnapping and organ harvesting by Fulani herdsmen. Now they have been shielded by the military. Otherwise, why would the militaries go to houses, fish out our young men, kill them just because they are mere IPOP members? Are you with me?
I'm with you, ma.
Yes, because they are mere, you suspect that they are IPOP members. You go to their houses, fish them out, shoot them. But Fulani herdsmen, we abduct people, kill people, sack people's villages, stay there. Nobody says anything. So it goes a long way to show that the activities of Fulani herdsmen was approved by the federal government. Now, that was the dream of the former president. You know, President Buhari is a Fulani man. So his dream and wish before he died is to make sure he settles Fulani herdsmen, Fulani. He settles them in a place they can call their own, even if it means sacking the owners of that land. I think that is what they've been fighting for since 2015 till now. Remember, it was when President Buhari took over government that he legalized arms carrying Fulani herdsmen. And when people complain, how can you allow Fulani herdsmen to carry AK-47? The excuse he gave us was cattle rustling, that they were rustling for cattle. Now that was actually an excuse to actually arm them for the mission they were prepared for. You get it? So I think Nigerians will rise up. It's not a matter of Southeast, because Nigerians are fond of once it is Southeast, they will turn the other way around.
But Lolo, it's not just the Southeast right now. You have Ondo State, you have Benue State. There have been a recent research of these terrorists because the court has said that every mannerism of these supposed headers that constitutes killing, displacement, and all whatnot should be termed terrorists. So they are termed terrorists now. So don't even call them headers. Now, the thing is, they have been circulating several states. In Ondo State, 20 persons were killed in 5 different communities. They said they've only been able to get about 17 bodies or 15 bodies thereabout. In Benue State too, the same thing. In Edo State right now, they are calling for a military checkpoint to be set up because of the recent spate of killings of these Fulani headers. So they have been going around states, encroaching regions, displacing persons, killing and all whatnot. The thing is, for example, during the world news at 6, one of the analysts said it's a political move by political antic makers who want to possibly displace or create a false narrative about this administration, so the administration will not be looked in a good way ahead of 2027 to scuttle his resurgence in 2027. Do you think this recent killings is a political maneuver, is a political tactic? Kill people, make the government of the day unserious and inadequate to protect his people so that they will not be famous or they will not be voted for in 2027. Do you see this as a political angle?
I don't. It's an agenda by APC government, and our dear president was part of it. You know, but I think he entered into an agenda. It was basically on our youth. When they arrest, they kill. Not that they will arrest and try. They will arrest them and kill them. So what happened is the youth were now moving in drones out from Southeast. So the moment the youth were moving in drones, so the agenda is becoming successful because the agenda was to track them. You know what happens? When the youth are fast and they move to Lagos or any other place to settle down, they will marry and start having children there. Before you know it, that place will follow. So they will quietly take over. What they want to do is practically. They did all this in Goilas Star. They will tactically stop the people quietly and allow those people to settle. So by the time you don't see people occupying that, like if you go to Osun today, the video is all over the place. Everywhere is bush. The express road from Olu to Ihiala is bush. So they've succeeded in conquering that place. They tried them by now. So when we realized, when we now went on ground, it was on our own went on ground and see what was happening. That was when we started raising an alarm of the activities of the military. We boldly came out on TV to say this, and we telling them to come and deny it. So the military, knowing that they have been uncovered, they kind of, if you watch recently, the military has gone down. So what happens? They want to try to create a form of ethnic clash. They want to make it an ethnic clash. And they have armed the Fulani herdsmen. They want to make it, even though they were armed before, but those ones they were doing in disguise. But since the military is now, and then we're accusing President Buhari of also having a hand, because as President Kubo said, he was his friend. So I think he was actually responsible for advising that our study be moved to Southeast. So he too, I think he's becoming careful. They are not using the security forces again to do. So they are trying to arm the Fulani herdsmen so that when the people attack them, it will be as if the Fulanis and the Igbos are fighting. That's what they're trying to do. So my advice, not just to the Igbos, other regions, please raise vigilante group. Why are we discovering this? You know, we've raised this campaign in the East. Each village, go and raise vigilante group and guide yourself. If you listen to the interview we granted at the press conference we did with IT, we said we are no longer safe, even with the military.
All right,
if
but
the military can be there, they have not caught any single criminal.
All right.
And all that.
Okay, so here is the thing now. What Lolo? What are the Southeast governors doing? Because the governor of the state is the chief security officer of the state. If there was a blockade, if there had been cries about these individuals or elements, because I call them walking corpses, they're not human beings for the kind of mayhem they're exerting in communities like that. So if residents of the communities and indigenous have been complaining that they cannot go to their farms, they are being displaced, their men are being killed, their women are being raped, their children are being humiliated in several instances, what are the governors doing? That's a big question. What are they doing? They have security votes, get allocation. What are they doing?
To answer you that question, You know, there is something my people say. There is an ant that is called Okene. When the thing pecks at the man's scrotum, if you try to kill it, you are going to break your scrotum, and if you leave it, it is going to bite you and destroy your scrotum. Now, what happened to Southeast governors? Out of the pressure to subdue IPOP, when the federal government, led by the former president Buhari, when they now saw that IPOP is becoming a problem to them, they beckoned on Buhari to bring in militaries and all that to, subdue IPOP, not knowing that the president have been looking for a way to move in. So eventually when they moved in, they used propaganda. They moved the militia. Now what they did is they will shoot, kill people and name it, call it IPOP. Eventually, when they discovered that this is what is going on, they were trapped. Because they now knew that if you tell the militaries to go, they have already created criminals around. Those criminals will go haywire. And it will be in the news that it's because they will do the military. Because I personally, when we investigated what was happening in Southeast, and we discovered that the militaries were even involved in the kidnapping, it happened face to face. And also they were the ones enforcing it at home. We dared them to deny it. I called one government official in Anambra State, and I said, Oga, because when I was sharing it in the village, one boy said the military sees his Okada at Osumu. The military themselves become a terror. I now called one government official in Anambra State, and I said, Oga, I think militaries are responsible for what is going on. I said, do you know what he told me?
No.
He said, Madam, we know. Unfortunately, we are trapped. If you pull the militaries now, they will make it worse. That they are looking for a way to quietly disengage them. So for our dear governor, who was so desperate to, quench IPOP, then when he now brought the military, and this is what he meant, he cannot open his mouth to confront them. When I started busted them, it was a problem. We never knew. Because we knew there were criminals around Southeast. Well, we don't know, but we knew it's not IPOP. So for somebody to now come out on Channel TV to say, I was contacted by the president, the government of the day to guide Southeast. That was when we now knew where it was coming from. All along, the governors knew what was going on, but they can no longer do anything about it because already they have played with the devil. Right now, since the whole thing is open, and when individuals now knew what was going on, they started raising vigilante groups. It is this vigilante group now that is trying to expose more, for instance, the activities of Fulani herdsmen. They are now arresting the Fulani herdsmen while they kidnap people. We've now discovered that even the militaries were shielding the Fulani herdsmen. They are offering them protection while they will kidnap, and they will now target IPOP and continue to shoot our boys. The Igbo boys they've killed since 5 years ago till now is more than the pogrom of 1966. We are still compiling the.
All right, Lolo Chimizo, what do you think is being done now? Has the situation abated? Is that calm in Enugu State at the moment? Because that is the state that has experienced a hotspot. That's one of the hotspots of this Fulani terrorists. These individuals who are marauding as headers, but they are terrorists. What's the current situation there in a minute?
I can assure you in Enugu State, I'm not trying to praise the governor. The governor is a silent oppressor.
Okay.
He doesn't make noise. But if you watch outside Fulani's attack, which is in the bush, they don't attack within where people live. It's actually in the bush. A bush you can run like 2 hours without meeting anybody. But you see this matter, you might not hear it again. The governor will do something about it because Enugu State is the most secure state in the whole Southeast. They have this vigilance. They were even the ones that first of all engage vigilantes. Each vigilante group people that will join the representation will be from the village to time. They call it, there's a particular name there. The security in Enugu State is top notch. I'm sure this very one that happened, the governor will do something about it. It doesn't make noise. But he has cities all over Enugu State.
All right.
There was a place they went to attack people. It was the governor's CCTV that picked one of the birds. So I'm sure in Enugu, they will do something about it.
All right, thank you so much. Lolo, Neka, Cheme, say we need...
We want other states to emulate Enugu State.
Okay.
Not just other states. We want every village in the southeast to go and raise a vigilante group to guide themselves.
All right. Thank you so much, Lolo Chiemezie. She is a president, Igbo Women Assembly, also known as Madam Pinto. Thank you so much for that update and that in-depth, appraisal of what's currently going on there. Thank you so much, ma.
You're welcome.
All right. Now, Lawal Ekundayo, good evening and thank you for joining me on the Evening Rush today.
Good evening.
How are you?
Fine.
You were with me during the World News at 6. To buttress what Lolo is saying, El-Rufai, that is Bashir El-Rufai, the son of former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, sparked outrage after making a controversial comment on X, formerly known as Twitter. He suggested that the killings in southern Kaduna would persist if residents continue to attack Fulani headsmen. So he's saying that the residents should not attack the Fulani headsmen when they attack them, because if they attack, that is, if they revenge, that they will continue to, those Fulani headers will continue to kill. And now the thing is this, it almost sounds like the residents in that state should be sitting ducks. So in order for them for their communities not to be cleared out or to be ravished or whatever, that they should just bear the loss and allow it to go. Let there be some kind of peaceful resolution, but they should not revenge. How would you describe that? This is a politician's son. He's also a politician.
The question is, we should ask, what is his origin? What's his traditional origin of El-Rufai? That's the question. Is he a Fulani or is an Hausa?
Because even when he was fired, he said something. Somebody abused his mother, and he responded and said, "Southern Kaduna residents will keep seeing shege. Shege in Hausa means trouble, suffering, if they continue to attack indigenous Fulani headsmen," and also insulted the person who responded to him. This man brazenly made that statement. There are also talks of a couple of politicians from that region who are actually supporting the activities of this terrorist headers, because I don't want to call them headsmen. Headsmen don't continue to displace residents of a community or originals of a particular settlement. So, what you don't want?
I don't agree with you.
You don't agree with me that what?
They are not Fulani headsmen.
No, I said I call them Fulani. They're terrorists.
See. You say Fulani terrorists.
Fulani terrorists.
Don't say Fulani herdsmen and terrorists.
Why?
No. Because the people who saw with AK-47 are Fulani herdsmen.
This is the thing. A court has given an injunction that anybody, all right, that kills, burn farmers' settlements, localities, any criminal activity conducted by these people, which includes killing, macheting, wounding, maiming, raping, they are terrorists. All of them are terrorists. So right now, calling them headheads or bandits is soft landing. They are all terrorists because of the crimes they are committing. A court has given that official injunction. That's why I said Fulani terrorists. Because when you say when you say headsmen, it's
separating them, like headsmen
it's a credible activity. They are headsmen. They go about herding and their business exactly. But a situation where they start killing, they're terrorists already. That's what the court has actually given them.
So because when we see the videos and the pictures, we saw the videos of and pictures of herdsmen with AK-47. So that means for them to have AK-47, it's not a tree, it's not a sugar cane.
Okay,
you get it. It's not a stick. It's not even a ding gun. AK-47 can shoot over 500 bullets, or I don't know. So, is it what rats you want to kill, or you want to kill an antelope with 200 bullets? So they carry this gun. They are terrorists and they are Fulani. I'm not saying there are no good Fulani. Yes, that is why I said earlier on that It's like the government is giving them, is over pampering them.
Okay.
Because none of them have been brought to book. I've seen cases where you bring, when they, okay, look at the time that Emefiele was taken to court. One of the first accusation against him in court was that he had a gun.
Okay.
You remember? That what is he doing with a gun? Now, we now see Fulani with AK-47. And nobody's bringing them to book. That means that is what the government wants. Again, and when you have AK-47, that means you are going to war. And when you go to war, you are going to kill people. And they are killing people. And that is why none of them have been prosecuted up to today. It's a sign that you should carry on.
Do you think this is being enabled from the top echelon? Do you think they are the ones enabling this?
What do you mean top echelon?
The political bureaucrats.
That's what is going on now, because we have a government that prosecuted somebody for having a gun.
All right.
And it's not prosecuting some others for having guns. And then you begin to wonder, why are you doing this? Is there a separation? In our law, there's no separation. So why are you not prosecuting these ones and you are prosecuting this one? That's it. To let you know that then there's a bias. And who is the bias? Who are we going to finger? The people who are ruling us. Because their duty is to what? To maintain justice and fairness. So where is the justice and fairness? Where is it? That's why I said that. What do you mean by Ruga? Why are you submitting bills for Ruga? It's a way of telling them that don't worry, continue killing you and doing what you are doing. As long as they give you, it's when they accept that Ruga, then you can. So for them to accept, you need to continue doing this. Because what do you mean by Ruga? If you want to do business, you get it. You buy resource, you get resources.
But that bill, that Ruga thing has been reconstructed. That bill has been reconstructed to the fact that there should be a bill passed, right? That ranches for headers should be established within their state of origin.
Excuse me, who is
no longer going to be that compelling other state governments that please create ranches in your state so that when these headers are, they can be able to set up. They're asking that they should be set up within their state of origin.
Why is government, making that bill? Why? Because listen to me, in your state, if it is you are from a state, you have a state. In your state, you have your they say village.
Okay, yes, my community.
You have your community.
My
your family have
they
have their lands here. So do you need government to make law for that? If you want to do your business on your family land, you talk to your people, they agree, you use it.
Can you remember during Buhari's time? This whole Ruga talk was on. They wanted to compel state governments to create ranches for these headers.
Meaning as big as a local government.
Well, meaning that regardless of the states, even if those headers are not from that state, if they bring their cows or whatever there is a ranch allocated for them to feed on. Or they also stated that there will be a route where they can pass so they will not trample on people's farmlands. A lot of state governors opposed that because there was no possible way you were going to create a special route across the 36 states or states that you think that are fertile for these individuals to carry their cows and pass through. You cannot resolve the conflict then. So remember, a lot of governors at the time, they did not assent to that. And it kept on, it was an impending situation. And the insecurity escalated. These guys continued their killing and displacing persons. So now the bill was reconstructed in such a way that instead of you compelling governors or state governments to create ranches specifically for these individuals, even if they're not from that state, that the states where these individuals do their heading should create ranches for them. It's just like if you know Zamfara, their mode of business is heading, cattle rearing. Create ranches for them. All the states in the north, they have land. Create ranches for them. They don't have to transport them to another state or carry those cows to another state and destroy people's farmlands that you're feeding your cows. That's basically what the bill is supposed to be on. But they've not passed that bill.
That's why I say I don't agree with the bill. The bill will create further problem. You know why? If it is truly your hometown, do you need a bill to get land there? It's your land already.
Okay, you're saying that since it's their land, they
It's
have
their land.
they
It's
have
your
their place.
Yes.
They should. So the government doesn't necessarily have to pass any
Yes.
bill.
Do you need a bill to go to your own village to set up anything?
Okay. All right. Now, also the bill is meant
sorry,
for. Okay.
Do you know that I heard that we have a Ministry of Livestock now?
Yes.
So what has that got to do? Is this livestock, does it belong to does it belong to government? This livestock belongs to individuals now. It belongs to individual businessmen.
Serious businessmen. A couple of them are in the
government
Senate.
giving them protection?
The government is in the Senate as well.
Okay, we have a fisheries in agriculture. We have a fishery. We have a crop
Fishery, animal husbandry.
Yes, we even have forestry. It's part of agriculture. We have forestry and forest management. You get what I'm saying? Now, are you going to begin to create Ministry of Fishery? You get Ministry of Fishery. After you have created Ministry of Livestock, you now created Ministry of Fishery. Ministry of what? Crop. Ministry of whatever. All these things are under agriculture. I mean, Ministry of Agriculture. They are already there to make life easy for everybody. So if you want to do your business, this is not government business. It's not NNPC and it's not government refinery. It's your personal business.
Okay.
You want to expand your personal business, look for a nice place. If it is not your land, buy the land.
Okay.
That's why I asked initially, do they pay tax? When they sell their cattle, who do they pay tax to? Who? So why is government giving them protection? Why is government finding it difficult to bring those who perpetrate evil to book? Where have they ever been prosecuted? Where have they ever, tried? None. The only thing is this:
very unfortunate.
give them land. Okay, let's create Ministry of.
They never even find them when they perpetrate this mayhem. They never see them.
As if the Fulani, I mean the headsmen,
the terrorists,
as if they own the country.
The terrorists, they are terrorists.
We are second citizens. They are the main citizens. That's why they are giving them all this special protection and giving them all the
licenses. They own guns, they own weapons, and nobody accosts them. Nobody tells them anything.
Let me tell you something. In Europe, in America, they were doing these herdsmen all over the place. Go and look at history. When modernization came, that's where they started all this ranching. Ranching is a modern system of herding your cattle.
There are country homes in that place. Those country areas, they are basically into livestock and
everything is fine. Do they see them killing people and then they now tell them, okay, give them land? What is wrong with us here? Are we the only country in Africa? Or are we the only country in the world?
I don't know.
Or is it only in Nigeria that they rear cattle?
I don't know.
Then what is going on here? Is this a personal business of some personal people now? They are personal businesses. They are no government. So why is government giving them all these special things? Ministry of cattle. What does that mean? Give them ruga. Give them whatever. What about the others? I'm an agriculturist. So if I want to get land now to expand my business, I have to start killing. Will they not take me to court and jail me?
Obviously.
So what is the difference between me and them? So I can carry AK-47 and go to somebody's land and they say I begin to kill them and the government will say, okay, don't worry, give him land because give him land.
All right, let's look at a situation in the Lagos State House of Assembly which occurred today. The fresh crisis erupted as the Lagos State House of Assembly Speaker Mudashiru Obasa and his former deputy Mojisola Meranda, they clashed over the alleged withdrawal of 5 billion naira from the Assembly's account for the purchase of Toyota Land Cruiser SUVs for lawmakers. Now, based on what the People's Gazette revealed, that the conflict stems from Miranda's decision to approve the disbursement of the funds just days after she replaced Obasa as Speaker following his brief impeachment in January. Miranda, who also obviously became the first female Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly on January 13, approved the purchase of 40 units of 2025 Toyota Land Cruiser SUVs, one for each lawmaker. Fortuna models originally planned by Obasa. So Miranda took 5 billion from the Lagos Assembly account, while Obasa had budgeted 7 billion to buy possibly a 2020 model, while she bought a 2025 model. Immediately she took over as the Speaker, right? So the question now is this. These are taxpayers' monies. The first thing you did as you become the first female Speaker was to ensure that you buy cars. Obasa too, the same thing. And these were the lawmakers that had actually written and said this is basically what he's squandering the money on, buying cars, buying property and all whatnot. So again, which brings us to the conversation about the representatives at the National Assembly, both at the State Assembly and the National Assembly.
Even the local government.
Even at the local government. Do they indeed have the interests of the people they represent at heart? You are hearing people say they are dying of hunger. You're hearing people say there are no job opportunities. Things are very expensive. You would have thought that you will pass bills, you will bring in initiatives that will provide succor. The first thing is about your personal enrichment. At this day and time that we're going through an economic downturn and the president is trying to say how you can revitalize prominent sectors that used to generate income. Everything at the State House of Assembly, the National Assembly, is personal interest. How do you describe that?
Let me first of all make some clarifications.
Okay.
Before that, I will say something. That we know that is corruption. You get it? All these things you are buying is corruption because you don't have the right to buy all these things for yourself. There's supposed to be a ministry, I mean, a commission separately that will be taking care of all that, not you deciding your salary.
Or deciding what you want to buy for yourself.
Yes. That we know that is corruption. 1 second, the very day Miranda take over, she can do anything she wants.
She can do anything she wants.
Yes, because she is the speaker. The moment she's legally a speaker, she can sign it. Even if you have prepared it, you get what I'm saying? And she come on board, that very day she can sign because that day, the moment she become the speaker, her signature is valid. And whatever the other person has done becomes a burden.
Okay.
A responsibility. So for Obasa to be coming up on board, it shows that he is reckless. You get it? It shows that there's a word like he's overstepping his boundary. Let me just say it.
You think so?
Yes, because she was speaker for a month plus. So she has the right from the day she became speaker. That office becomes her responsibility. Everything in that place becomes her responsibility. You get it? If she didn't resign, Obasa could not have come. Even as of now, Obasa is still not a speaker.
Are you sure?
He's not a speaker now.
Because of the case
Legally, he's not a speaker.
Okay.
Not even court. You know why? Because the 27 legally removed you. Now you are in court to decide whether it is legal or not.
The process through which you were impeached, if it was legal or
legal.
not.
So it can still be said yes, it's legal. So now you are acting on the seat in which you are even interim. You are not even supposed to be there, pending the determination of the court. If not for Miranda that resigned, he can't be there now. Even if they give him high G to be looking after him, he's still not the speaker.
It's actually quite unfortunate because one would have thought that you have senators, you have lawmakers that will pass laws or make bills that will be in the interest of the people, but you're seeing different things take place. For example, the House of Rep directing the Nigerian Communications Commission to order internet service providers in the country to block all websites hosting obscene and pornographic content. The resolution was passed today following a motion sponsored by Dalhatu Tafoki, a lawmaker from Katsina State. Tafoki argued that unrestricted access to pornographic materials has a negative impact on societal values, particularly amongst young people. The legislature stated that several countries in Asia, Africa and the Middle East have enacted laws prohibiting pornography. He also referenced warnings from psychologists and sociologists about the harmful effect of pornography, including its potential to promote adultery, prostitution, and addiction. So lawmakers supporting the motion emphasize the need to protect Nigerian cultural and moral standards by curbing access to explicit content.
Okay.
Let me create a scenario. Have you seen where these lawmakers meet? At midnight, when they need to converge and wine and dine. These same lawmakers who are passing this bill and saying that it is because of the moral decadence amongst our youths. Do you think that it's funny because allegedly they're the ones who actually perpetrate this activities that promulgates moral decadence? They organize persons for them to entertain themselves, have fun. These are the people passing laws for things like this. I'm not saying that it is wrong. I'm not saying that it's right, but there are endemic issues that needs a swift passage. which obviously I just mentioned to you. For example, the tax reform bills, constitution reform bills, and the Electoral Act bill. These are bills at the National Assembly that needs to be passed. 2027 general election is coming, and especially that electoral act bill is necessary because of what was experienced in 2023. That bill has not been passed. Also, the one talking about the establishment of ranches within the state of origins of the headers, those who are going about their heading activities. So the question now is, you could swiftly pass this bill to second reading. You're blaming the economic downturn. You're blaming the moral decadence on pornography. You're blaming the corrupt attitudes of our politicians in various sectors. You're literally saying that this is basically the problem right now. What about drug peddling? Buying drugs. I remember the NDLEA once told us that a senator, they found catch of drugs in his home. A lot of them are into this business. These are bills that you should obviously have passed as swiftly as possible. But pornography is your ish. You're saying now that is basically what is causing the problem. You're saying that our cultural and moral standards have reduced because these people are having access to to pornography. Please tell me what your reaction is to this.
See, even if NCC ban it, they will still find a way to transmit it because it's internet now. There's always a way. How can you control it? And then when you say pornography, you must define it.
You say obscene content.
Obscene
they
content.
call it obscene. That it causes
like what? They should tell us now.
Addiction on our
such
youth.
As
That is
why I told
moral decadence.
See, what do you mean?
I'm bringing out our moral and cultural standards.
These are just concepts. It's like saying stealing, and you don't define it. What is stealing? You get it? So if a child goes to the pot and pick a meat because he's hungry, and you say that is stealing, if you don't define it, it will create problem. Now the thing is this: when you come to pornography, you don't define it, you are going to create a lot because NCC will be wondering what exactly do I need to do.
I asked you a question. Have you seen when these individuals hang out?
See,
do you see their level of entertainment?
I'm coming to that. What about the underage marriage? What about the underage marriage?
They'll tell you it's their culture.
Okay, it's culture.
If you go there yourself, they will chop you raw. They'll say it's their culture. I remember when Ujo Hanaya wanted to interfere in that matter. I think that's one of the reasons why she was even sacked as Minister of Women Affairs, because she wanted to intervene on the matter. And they said it's not her business. It's something that they've always done, and that the girls were willing to do it.
Okay.
So it's their cultural practice.
Okay,
it's not a moral decadence for them.
Maybe this pornography is some people's culture. If they come out and say it's our culture, what are you going to see? You get what I'm saying? If they come out and say, okay, it's our culture, pornography in our culture is not a sin. It's normal. It's what we do all over now. If, for example, in some culture, they can marry their sisters. While in some culture, they say it's a taboo.
That's all those Asian countries.
Even in Nigeria, yes. Some do it now.
Really? Wow.
They can marry their close relation, whatever. They'll say it's our culture. Is that the way we want it? So why do you now talk about it as against some people?
But the countries that enacted laws prohibiting this, are they not countries that often practice one particular religion? If places like Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and Iran, they have a particular religion.
And you look at the protests
they have
that
a particular
in Iran.
No,
you know how many people have been killed?
They have a particular religion. Their religion does not allow all of this. Even in African countries that this stuff is being passed on, they practice, in fact, the prominent religion there is Islam. So the question is, I don't know if there'll be any group to counter this, if there'll be anyone that would go to the court for this matter, or if there's anyone that would dispute this bill from being implemented. I really don't know. But that's basically what they passed, and they're referencing the moral and cultural decadence in our society, and this is one of the reasons why they want to ban it. But we don't see them when they have fun. We don't see them how they engage in their extracurricular activities, and not just in one form. In large forms, in different. Maybe
we'll call it a rep's mess.
Do
you know? See,
let me
tell you something. If you want to pass a bill, whether it is good or not good, you have to subject it to public scrutiny.
Exactly.
You have to debate it very well. They have to define it. You get it? It has to be defined and be separated from other concepts. So that anybody who's taking care of, or when they are writing the law, they will be able to be specific. It won't create an issue such a way that people can just be picked indiscriminately. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But when you do it in a rush, That is where the look at the issue of the use of a corporal punishment in school and cane. It has created more problem. You see that even when you talk to a student, hey, come, he won't answer you because he knows there's nothing you can do. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing you can do.
All right, Mr. Lawal Ukundara, let's actually open the phone lines. Ladies and gentlemen, you're currently listening to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Mwachuku. We actually run this Monday through to Fridays where we get to look at topical issues, all right, hot topics that generated quite the buzz, that generated quite a conversation. We bring in analysts and guests who gives us their own insights. We have reporters on the field who also gives us an update, all right, and currently misconceptions right on this platform are clarified. We get to have a broader understanding of a lot of issues, and then you have a better, well-informed perspective of these issues. You don't have any form of adulterated information right here. That's basically what we provide for you right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. And like I told you, it's been quite an interesting one. The other one I do know, for example, is the fact that the Federal High Court has disputed a couple of statements made by the new lawyer that was, or rather the new judge assigned to Nnamdi Kanu's case. Reports went round or rife on social media, I think about yesterday, that the new judge that has been assigned to Nnamdi Kanu's case had actually stepped down or backed down. Well, the Federal High Court, through Justice John Soho, has come out to dispute that claim and say it is not true, right? That story is false. But that by Friday, the case file will be presented to the parties involved, meaning Aloy Ejimako, the representative, the legal counsel for Nnamdi Kanu, will get a particular case, or rather the papers will be served to them, as well as the lawyer Awomolo, that is representing the federal government, obviously wanting to try Nnamdi Kanu on terrorism charges. So this particular letter was signed by the chief registrar of the court, Malam Suleiman Amida Hassan. He described the media publication credited to the chief judge as mischievous and damaging in intent. He says the story is not true, that Justice John Soho has stepped down because of Nnamdi Kanu's case. In fact, the court clarified that Honorable Justice Soho reassigned Nnamdi Kanu's case from Honorable Justice Binta Nyako to a new judge. They deny the claim attributed to John Soho that Kanu's arrest and detention were illegal, adding that the general public should be wary and rely only on verified information from official court sources. So they were saying as of yesterday that the judge that was assigned Nnamdi Kanu, the new judge, said that Nnamdi Kanu's continuous detention within the DSS custody was illegal, and so that the judge had to step down. So the clerk of the court is saying that that's not true, that they never made such a statement, that his continued detention within the DSS is illegal, that they never made such a statement, and the fact that they clarified all the reports, and they cautioned strongly against the deliberate misinformation and at misleading the public, eroding confidence in the judicial system. The claim, they say, is entirely fictitious, unfounded, grossly mischievous, damaging in intent, and should be disregarded in its entirety. So nobody stepped down at all. The new judge, obviously, they don't know if he has gotten the case file of Nnamdi Kanu, but by this Friday, an update will be given as to when his next appearance will be, right? The submissions from both parties, the federal government and Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, will be presented to the new judge that has been assigned to Nnamdi Kanu's case. And they will now see how the proper trial will commence. Nnamdi Kanu said he is not guilty, that his case should be tried, that possibly it's his geographical location that is an impediment for the swift and accelerated process of his hearing. According to him, he is not guilty of the charges or terrorism charges from the federal government. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said earlier, it's time for us to get your reaction on the hot topics that we have discussed today. The number to call is 080-3692-9933. That's the number for you to call, 080-3692-9933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. 0817-1756-338. So we have 60 seconds, all right, 1 minute and 10 seconds, so we can accommodate as many calls as possible. Hello, good evening and welcome to the Evening Rush. How are you? What's your name? Hello? Kindly turn down the volume of your radio, please. All right, kindly do that for me, please. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm cool. My name is David from Ikorodu.
All right, welcome. Please go ahead.
First and foremost, I want to commend you guys for this program. It has been so enriching.
Thank you.
On the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, it's so unfortunate. I would say this country did not respect rule of law. Most often, I begin to feel, what is the work of the Constitution in this country? Because the people who are supposed to respect this Constitution are not respecting the Constitution. Nnamdi Kanu has the right to determine which court to try him. Of course, why must this issue be linked for such a time? On different occasions, court has granted him bail. And why is he still in detention? It obviously shows that the people in authority do not respect rule of law. And I want the federal government to release him. They to respect the verdict of the court, because court is the hope of common man. And if they fail to respect the rule of law, then this country will end up in anarchy. God forbid.
God forbid.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I like that. Very apt and direct. Went straight to the point. Thank you very much. 08036929933. That's the number to call. All right. Hello. Good evening. How are you? Hello.
Hello?
Good evening. How are you?
Hello.
I can hear you. Good evening. What's your name?
Hello.
I can hear you, sir. What's your name?
Well, my name is Valentine.
All right.
Papa Ndamoka. I'm calling you from Ojota, Lagos.
All right, Valentine. Please go ahead.
Please, I want to just chip in on just two topics.
Okay.
Number one is about Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
You see, this thing that is happening in River State about disobedience of court to law or different judge.
Hello?
Supreme Court has already said before that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. They have decided to acquitted him.
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. Supreme Court did not say that too. What they did was to take the case back to the Federal High Court. That was what they said. They asked the federal government that they did not do right with the way they brought him in. Please, let's get that clarified.
Any judge that is handling this case.
Okay. Yes.
We see that there is nothing to judge in that matter. That is why you see this case running like this. Secondly, the issue of herdsmen killing people in Ebonyi State. It's your mind.
Not just Ebonyi, not just Ebonyi, Enugu, Benue, Edo, Ondo. Yes.
All those APC states. This is their meeting. This was their agenda before bringing our government, the present government, to power.
Hello? All right, please, when we call, let's get our facts right, okay? It's quite important, so we don't have any form of misinformation. A lot of people are listening to us, so let's have our facts right. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name?
My name is The Truth.
Okay, The Truth.
Yes.
The Truth, where are you calling us from, please?
From Injustice Avenue.
All right, please go ahead.
One, I want to thank God for your station, for the entertainment or whatever you are giving us to educate and to let us know what is happening, what's going on in this country. Two, concerning what is happening in Lagos State House of Assembly and other assemblies or Senate, House of Reps, Presidency, just to let you know that these people, they don't have the fear of God. Talk less they have the fear of the masses or to take care of the masses. See how much they are spending to buy cars and the allowances while the masses are suffering. Just come on to buy food, the 3 square meal, the drugs in the hospital, to go to hospital. Some cannot afford it. And see the way they are spending money on all levels. They've forgotten that there is God. They've forgotten. Within 2 months, they are buying cars. You know, when Kanu assumed the position, he first of all pocketed the judiciary and the reps by bullying them, by bribing them with money. He himself said that he got to bought that place with his own money.
All
He
right,
bought the
thank you.
position.
Thank you very much.
So
You've
the money
exceeded
is the
70
root of all
seconds.
evils in this country.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. All right. Thank you very much. Please let's adhere to the time so we can accommodate as many calls as possible and I can be able to take WhatsApp messages. All right. The number to call is 08036929933. Hello. Please kindly turn down the volume of your radio. It's very, very important, please. Thank you very much. Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. How are you? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's your name, please?
Hello.
I can hear you, sir. What is your name? That's why I said turn down the volume of your radio.
Hello, good evening. My name is Pedro.
Pedro. All right. Where are you calling us from, Pedro?
I'm coming from a cotton area.
Please, can you turn down that alarm or something? It's disconcerting.
Actually, I'm in a car and I have my car when I park. Please, I want to say something concerning
There's an alarm at the background. Can you turn it off, please?
Okay. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I said I want to say something concerning Kanu.
Okay, go ahead.
From my own understanding is that when we talk about federal government detection, yes, they do the right thing.
Hello, sir. Please turn down that alarm. Kindly call back, all right? That thing is not cool. Please, I beg you. Just call us back, all right? I beg you. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, hello, sir. Good evening. How are you?
Hello?
I can hear you, sir. Good evening. How are you?
Hello?
I can hear you, sir. What is your name?
Okay, good evening. My name is Ikechukwu Augusta.
All right, Ikechukwu. Where are you calling me from, please?
Okay, I'm calling you from Ajawa State.
All right, Ikechukwu, please go ahead.
Okay. I want to contribute. First of all, let me thank you for your educative program.
Thank you.
I want to contribute about Enugu and Herdsman issue.
All right.
That Enugu issue is happening in one particular zone in Enugu, not in Enugu entirely. I'm from Enugu and I'm from Enugu come back to Lagos yesterday. This thing is happening to Ihamufo and this express that lead to Nsukka.
Okay.
And these people have boundary with Abakaleke. They are just close to Abakaleke than Enugu people.
Okay.
Something like that. Now, this thing is happening in one particular place. And because of these people are coming through the Abakaleke, Boy State, to that Ihamofo. Now, if somebody said that this is a peaceful agenda, the person may not be far from the truth. Because where all these things are happening is in APC state, not in PDP state or otherwise. When you watch Abakaleke was free before. After the APC take over, this thing start to happen. And from Abakaleke, these people now enter Ihamofo, start disturbing Ihamofo. If you go to Ihamofo today, you will not see any police checkpoint or any military checkpoint there. They pull all the military people out of that place. They pull all the checkpoints out of that place. Those people are just living on their own. It's only God that is protecting them. This I'm telling you, you can verify. It's there. No checkpoint. I was there 2 weeks ago. No one check. You will not see any checkpoint in that place. So what I'm trying to say is this. Our leaders know what is going on. And I just pray that our good and able governor, which is Peter Mba, should not join them.
All right.
If you join them, I don't think we'll find it easily. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. I sincerely do appreciate. Now, for proper context, okay, in October 13, 2022, the Court of Appeal held that Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinarily rendition to Nigeria and that the action was a flagrant violation of the country's extradition treaty and also a breach of his fundamental human rights. The court therefore struck out the terrorism charges filed against Nnamdi Kanu by the Nigerian government and ordered his release from the facility of the State Security Service. I want you to remember that this was in October 2022. But the government refused to release Nnamdi Kanu, insisting that Kanu would be unavailable in subsequent court proceedings if released, and that his release would cause insecurity in the southeast where he comes from. Now, the government, through the Office of the Attorney General, then later appealed the court ruling and subsequently obtained an order that is, they should stay his execution at the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court had ordered that the trial should continue. but that the appeal court has said the manner with which the federal government went about it, the manner with which Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinarily renditioned is wrong and not correct. So that was why they ordered the trial of the case. The Supreme Court couldn't give an exact judgment because it got to the Supreme Court. They waited for the certified true copy, but having to uphold the lower courts, whatever, that's the Court of Appeal. They couldn't uphold it. So that's where the context is on right now. So we're hoping that with this new judge that has been assigned to him, that the proper whatever will continue, proper trial will continue, proper evidence presented, and possibly, then we'll now say exactly where this case is leading, because it has been on and on for so long, unexplainable. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello?
Hello?
Good evening. How are you? What's your name?
Hello?
I can hear you, sir. What's your name, please?
Hello? Yeah. I'm David, calling from Otta.
All right, David. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I want to talk about this Mr. Nnamdi Kanu case.
All right.
I just want to let you know my own state of mind concerning that man.
Okay.
It is a conspiracy between the federal government and the state governors of those eastern states. They are not serious. Those eastern governors are not serious about that man at all. They are not serious. It's conspiracy of the worst order, the highest order. How can that man be detained? When you see herdsmen here and there, none of them is ever detained one day. A man who said nothing went to Kenya to extradite him to Nigeria. And the Igbo governors, they are saying nothing about it because of their political interest. They are just all against that man. There is no Igbo man, a proper Igbo man, that is not an IPOB. There is none, unless that person is not an Igbo man by blood. Like as I'm talking to you like this, if I were to be even close to that side, I'm an IPOB, but I'm from Edo State.
Okay.
So I don't really like what is happening to that man. Is the hands of the eastern governors, all of them, they have hands in that man's detention. They are not saying anything about it. They are not interested. And they are there looting money that belongs to the whole state. They are looting all the money, doing all the rubbish and nonsense they are doing with the money, leaving that man to be in detention like that. There's no normal human being that will be happy. And you see all these Hausa people, all of them are cooperating. They are killing people. None of them is being arrested. Nothing is happening to all these headers. We call them headers. They are not even headers.
And that's what we said, that the court has already said anyone that constitutes such mayhem are terrorists. They're not headers. We try to separate it.
Headers.
And it's not Hausa, it's Fulani, like the Fulani terrorists.
Everybody in all the state of the federation. What kind of a country are we running? Is it a country at all? This is not a country now. It's people who don't know that will be saying that they have presidents, they have this, they have that. Nobody has anything. This is a country of survival of the fittest.
All right, thank you.
Of the fittest.
Thank you very much. All right. Mr. Lawal Ekundayo, they have, remember, some people think these are foreign elements. Some of the Fulanis have come out to say that they are falsely accusing them, that they are very peaceful, and they don't partake in activities like this. And that some of these elements that constitute this mayhem are coming from the Sahel, that Niger side and all of that stuff. So to overtake people's farmlands and constitute this mayhem and resettle.
How did they know? You get it? That they are coming from this place. That means they are part of them now. For you to know that they are coming through this place and then they are in your midst.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, sir. Good evening. What's your name, please?
My name is Evangelist Chus, calling from Ikotu.
All right, Evangelist Chicks, please go ahead.
First of all, I want to appreciate you for the good work you are doing.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and also I want to appreciate your invitation, inviting Madam Bintu to analyze issues this evening.
Okay.
Anyway, one thing I want Nigerians to understand about S-Men it is intentional. It is well planned by Nigerian federal government. The people may not understand what is going on. Sometime during that period of lockdown, one of their videos leaked out
that Fulanis are out to claim their land, that Nigeria belongs to them. So, and they have decided to claim what belongs to them back. So whether Nigerians like it or not, that they are coming. That was far back to 2020. And the thing is playing out now. So it is not surprising that the federal government keep mute to what is going on. So the killings in the southeast, everything that is happening there, everything are well planned by the federal government of Nigeria. So if nobody knows, let them know. That is one.
All right, thank you
Then,
very much.
secondly,
Thank you.
I want
Okay,
to- I want to
your
say
70
that,
seconds has been, you've exceeded. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Please, we need to
maybe
take
he
more
has to
calls.
call back.
Yes, no, we need to take more calls, not call back, because we need to accommodate other callers as well. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
Yes, I did. My name is Pedro. I've called before. But
Pedro, you haven't turned off that alarm. Why not? Turn it off now. Because
Okay, can you hear me right away?
I can hear you here. I can hear you now, Pedro. Please go
Okay,
ahead.
I just want to say something concerning the Sandy.
Okay,
And this one straight, I'm not Fulani, neither outside.
okay.
The truth is that I will tell you, Konali, I traveled a lot in this country and other countries.
Okay.
And I've seen a lot when we talk about Niger, Fulani, and all this. Please, I won't lie to you. The only solution to this is that if you remember when 96 when they out over Nigeria to outside, it's still their hand. The power is still their hand. And when we talk about outside, it's not only the people that speak outside. Their family is Fulani. And how can they create this country, be separate or be strong enough? And those people, they are very strong enough. Their mind is very cross. There are those people that can do this thing for them. And they are started dominate different states. The only thing that can free up this country is when every location use what is called, let me just say, manage their resources. Or where we divide this country. If not, that is where the secret will live.
You're referring to everyone going to that original system of government, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Then when we talk about Kanu issue, everybody, all the federal government, they know. They just want to make Kanu, they just want to use his name
All right.
to camouflage.
All right.
Because Kanu is not supposed to be in that detention by now. It's supposed to be free.
All right.
But assuming that it's the Yoruba man that is there, and we have up Yoruba man that is upstairs as a president or is Senate, do you think that Nnamdi Kanu is going to be there? Because they are paying tribalism. And that is what is going to kill Nigeria.
All
Nigeria
right.
cannot go forward. I'm not saying because I know the root of Nigeria. My father is one of the estates of this country. I'm saying it. Nigeria cannot go forward. If another president will come today, the same way he will do. They started taking money on Nigeria. I love the Lagos state that Apata take a lot of money by SUV.
Thank you so
And
much.
me,
Thank
my
you. You've exited. Okay.
Please.
Hello. Good evening. How are you? Hello.
Good evening, Esther Machugu.
Good evening, sir. How are you, sir? So sorry for keeping you waiting. I sincerely do apologize.
So how are you?
I am fine, sir. Welcome.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I want to greet Lawal,
Mr. Lawal Ekundayo.
Kundai.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
because I wanted to greet him. For the second time now I'm listening to his son. He always give me joy.
Okay.
Because one analyze exactly what is happening, what happened, without fear of evil. So I like him. So my brother, I give you a
Hello.
That thing is big.
Hello.
Hello. So I want to.
Your network is not good. Is it not Zerenadi that is talking?
Yeah.
Are you calling from Nigeria?
Can you hear me?
This network is bad. Oh. Are you back from Spain?
I'm surprised. I'm calling from Spain. I'm calling from Spain.
Thank you, sir.
His network. Your network is not good. Hey.
I'm just surprised. I don't know if it is on top of this mountain. I don't know if it's because of where I am. Where I am.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Okay, Esther, I want to go.
Sir.
You know, this thing is that is concerning what is happening in Nigeria. That is why now they cannot be released because they know that this guy will tell him for long. Have been telling what is happening in Nigeria. This guy have been saying it right from time. That is why he hardly that just to keep him short, to keep his mouth short, to keep that man. To make sure that they Nigeria more secret is to just make him to remain that place. Taking Nandi to prison now, Nandi will still reveal from there. Even educate people what is happening. That is why they keep him with the DSS. But I know, but soon that man will be released.
All right, Zerenadi, thank you so much. We need to take other calls, okay? Thank you. I sincerely do appreciate it. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name, please?
My name is Emmanuel, aka DJ Zerab.
Wow, Emmanuel, please go ahead.
I want to talk about this Fulani man.
Okay.
This, there is one comment like that from government official that says that any insecurity that lasted for
that was Abacha.
That the government now knows about it.
That's later, Abacha.
You see this Fulani men, government is in support of what they are doing.
You can't generalize or you can't say so. Please, let's be careful with how we utter statements on this platform.
The thing, we are not.
Government is aware, but you can't say they are in support of it. Please, I beg you. You can't say that. I beg.
How can those people purchase the firearm they are using? Do you know how much is that firearm? Can the ordinary Fulani men purchase that arm for like 10 million? So let's tell ourselves the truth. But I just believe that one day, those people, okay, look at the other day, they bring up names of tell all these people. They just named all the Oyibo people.
No, they did. It was for Simon Ekpa's case. It was for Simon Ekpa's case and other bank accounts. Yes, but I think you're referring to the 400 names that the United Arab Emirates released, and the Nigerian government has not told us what they're doing about it. All right, thank you so much. I sincerely do appreciate. He's referring to the bias in the system, how they were quickly able to, announce the names and account numbers of the persons who have accounts along with Simon Ekpa, but the 400 United Arab Emirates names that they were sent to us, that is the BDC operators who are sponsoring Boko Haram and ISWAP here. We've not seen their names. We've not heard any update about them. We don't know what they're doing with that intelligence report. So, hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. What's your name, please?
Yes. Good evening, the guests in the house.
Good evening. What's your name, sir?
My name is Chike, calling for my papa.
All right, Chike, please go ahead.
Yes. Esther, Shegumi told us that when he's going to visit people in the bush, that government officials used to follow him to there. And when one of the terrorist kingpin, the guy in one of the northern states, when they turbaned him as a king.
You're referring to Bello Turuji, right?
The government official was among the people who come to celebrate the turban. And one is Bello, who told us that former governor of Zamfara State is the sponsor of all the weapons that they used to buy.
That's the current defense minister, Bello Matawale.
So why somebody said that government is about? So what are you?
Let's not just generalize. Let's not generalize, Biko.
At least
I beg.
Don't let them come to
just don't generalize. That's all I'm saying, Biko. Please, but continue.
Okay, let us leave it
I like the stats that you're giving. Give the statistics, but don't generalize.
I want to give my fellow community advice.
Okay.
Go and protect yourself. Don't allow people to. Esther, do you know what it means if somebody come and kill your brother or your sister? Your beloved brother or sister or your mother. You know what it means? Do you know how it hurts? You allow somebody you don't know where it come from, just come to where you come to your reasons and just kill you just like that. No. Nobody can take all this kind of thing. No. If anybody want to allow himself to be killed, let everybody protect himself.
All right, thank you. All right, we need to take more calls. I will take 2 or 3 more calls so I can read out WhatsApp messages. We'll have a live appearance. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. What's your name, please?
My name is Koka from Ojo. Good evening, Mr. Lawale.
Good evening, sir.
Esther, in your analysis, you made a review of the appeal court, condemning the
extraordinary rendition. Yes.
I want to ask a question. Those panel of judges, I don't know whether there are 3 or 5. Where are they now? Please, can you investigate and let us know? Want to know where they are now? Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, hello, Esther. I will start with it's Tony Chukwudi. I will start with good evening, Mr. Lawa.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you for making a point during the news, during the 6 o'clock news. Because when you say it, maybe some people will not believe it. But what you said
Tony
is
Chukwudi,
absolutely
where are you calling
true.
us from?
I'm calling from UK.
All right, continue.
So what you said is absolutely true and correct. Here, it's not every land in the Western world they farm, they cultivate. Let me use UK, but I have moved places in Europe here. It's not every land they cultivate. There are some land they live. Even here in the Western world, here in UK, there are some land government pays the owner of the land to leave it for grazing. Some of them, they pay them to leave it just like that. No grazing, just leave it for the wild animal to breed there. So, and when there are some places here, let me be talking of UK. There are some places here in UK, when you go, it's only sheep and cow, they raise there because the soil there cannot be cultivated or is a marsh land. There are places they go, this field that you see they put in the stadium, that's what the only thing they plant there and harvest. And then during winter, all their cows and animals stays indoor. And during summer, they harvest the grass and press the grass. If you, I don't know whether some of you are seeing it on the film. They roll it.
Yes.
They roll it with a plastic. So to allow it to ferment. So when they feed it during the winter to the cow, it takes like something like honey, like sugar. The cows are eating it in as much as it's dry. So they try to take out the oxygen there to allow it to be like that. Now, during summer, now the time they release the cow inside their own farm, if they want to take it to another person's farm, they have to pay for that animal to graze there, or they can get it free. So why is it that the northerners are coming? Why can't they demand that from the south they send green leaves to them and they pay for it? So all this thing, the reason why this thing is getting me annoyed because of the slaughter they are slaughtering people.
I'm telling you.
And our governments are coming here, going to all these villages. Some of them buy houses at the countryside. Some of them move about with all these people. And when they go back, they pretend that they are not seen. You see where this thing is getting some of us in diaspora angry and annoyed. People like me, I moved to the rural areas of this country. That's where my work is. And I can see a lot of them. I can see when they are bringing and how they breed their cows. So it's not there are cows that are for milk. There are those that are for meat. So you will know the one that you are farming.
Very organized.
So when even in Holland that they said that has the highest cow rearing in Europe, still you don't just leave it to be roaming about.
All right, thank you, Tony Chukwudi. We need to take more calls.
You barricade the fence and then put electric shock so that when they get near to the line, it will shock them. They go back, so they don't go even near there.
Yes,
all right.
That person's fine.
All right, Tony Chukwudi, thank you so much. You've actually taken more than 70 seconds. I sincerely do appreciate it. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello.
Good evening, sir. What's your name, please?
Hello.
I can hear you, sir. What's your name?
This is Emeka.
Emeka, where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Maryland.
All right, Emeka, please go ahead.
Please, I've made my findings about this so-called Fulani herdsmen. I found out the reason why all these governors are not doing anything whenever something like this happens, or even all these politicians. I found out that those Fulanis are contracted. Most of all those cows they are seeing are owned by all these politicians. They will now employ those Fulani to rear the cow for them.
It's true.
That's why when the cows are entering people's farm, Fulani killing people, you see some governors, they will not say anything. Most of the governors you are seeing, they have cattle rearing, they are into cattle rearing business.
Yes, the former president was now. That's his business.
So how can you give me a job to do? And that cow business is a very lucrative business as you are seeing it. How can you give me a job? How can you contract me to do a job for you? And the only thing that can feed those cows is green as in farm plantations. Yes. They are the only thing that those cow eat.
and now they are trespassing, eating people's farm crops.
If you see how they mutilate farmlands,
when people challenge them, they will kill those people.
Oh, wow.
And you see the governor or the politician will not say anything because those are his boys. So it's also the Fulanis are minority in Nigeria and they are very lazy. They don't do any hard job.
They're no longer minorities, they've populated.
They're still minorities.
They're populated.
They're still minorities.
Not only everybody is into that business, and all tribes are into that business. So it's not Fulani did not come from heaven to start killing people. People contracted them to rear cow for them, and when they commit all these crimes, you see those people that send them will not do anything. They will give them protection. Yes. The only thing that can save this insecurity in Nigeria is what Madam Pinto has said. Let everybody, every village, organize their own vigilante and equip them. Let there be vigilante. If you have juju, use your juju with gun. Whatever you want to use, protect your own territory, but don't enter into another person's territory.
All right, thank you very much. All right, let me take messages right now. Okay, Comrade Abraham says, it is indeed an unfortunate and bizarre situation seeing suspected Fulani headers killing people within the community that is hosting them, yet those in government and governmental affairs are keeping mute. What does these unscrupulous elements want from innocent Nigerians, and why is the current government silent over this issue? On Fubara versus State Assembly, let them not set Rivers State on fire because of selfish interest. They should know that Rivers State is bigger than any single individual or group. Well, we're watching as a planet is listening. Comrade Abraham. Thank you so much, Comrade. Good evening, Esther. In a few months' time, the government will declare Nigeria. Oga, I will not read this one. But for the love of money, the Southeast governors are benefiting from it because they're afraid of being removed as governors by the president. So we should expect it anytime from now because they have run over the country. Ebele from Amor. Ebele, Biko, don't put us in trouble with some statements you write to. I didn't read all your messages. Blame President Tinubu for headers' misbehavior and killing, not President Buhari. He has finished his time. Until those who know tell us what they are hiding, kidnapping, killing, and Fulani occupation will not stop. If Buhari is Fulani, is President Bola Tinubu also Fulani? Chris is in Ikotu. All right, Chris, well done. Good evening, Esther. The Fulani headsmen are doing more harm than good, especially in the eastern part of the country, with the way these people have turned into kidnappers and raping women in their farms. The people of the southeast should find every possible means to protect themselves. It's unfortunate that the military are playing ostrich and have failed woefully to protect the southeast and other states. I therefore urge the government to do more to curtail the headsmen. From His Royal Highness B.C. Nwoko Inoshodi. Well done. Hello, Esther. I wanted to express my heartfelt gratitude for your response yesterday. All right, thank you very much. I sincerely do appreciate your gratitude. Good evening, my dear VOP members. For Tinubu and his group to say that all the killing in the land now is to discredit his government against 2027 is a big deceit. It's not the president that said so. Supporters are the ones saying so. And I think my analysts at the World News at 6 also said so as well. But it's not the president that said so. President had called them detractors anyway, or distractors. For Tinubu and his group to say that all the killing in the land now is to discredit his government against 2027 is a big deceit and lie from the pit of hell. This same president and Buhari brought Boko Haram and bandits in Nigeria to dislodge and remove Goodluck in power, and APC succeeded in their game. We don't know if it's Buhari and the president, so please let not name names when you don't have any verifiable facts. These individuals came. We don't know who sponsored them, but you can't call the president and you can't call the former president when you don't have any fact to buttress that. So please, I beg you, let's be careful when we make statements. It's either you use allegedly if you're not sure, and if you don't have evidence, it's you that will come and carry you, it's not me. Esther, good evening. Breaking news. Senator Natasha has taken her case to International Parliamentary, Geneva, Switzerland, to inform the union about her suspension given to her by Nigerian senators. Anna Paul from Coca. All right, thank you very much for that update. We're looking into that maybe tomorrow. Good evening, Esther and the guest. Olamilekon from Lagos. Abacha said in his time, if tourism lasts 24 hours, the government knows about it. You can see your army giving schoolboy excuses. Imagine 40 farmers killed in Borno. Do you know what that can do to a nation? Some few weeks ago, Boko Haram attacked the army base for 2 hours, no backup, while they are on southeast collecting money. 22 armies killed in their base in Borno. That means what Niger Republic government told us was a gospel truth concerning this government. That means the government is romancing with its terrorists and bandits. Our military has been compromised, has turned politicians doing eye service and hypocrisy. What has been done concerning the 400 names of those sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria? You can see no political will because of the elections of 2027. It's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. Dio from Fagwa. Dio, thank you very much for that message. Hi, VOP. Hi to you too. You didn't tell us your name. Please, how many times will Lagos lawmakers buy cars for themselves in a year? Taiwo from Otta. Taiwo, me and you, we did here. Good evening, Esther. I would like to applaud you for starting the program on time. And regarding security, the presidency is really lackadaisical about it. Shegu from Alagbado. All right, Shegu, thank you very much. Good evening, VOP and the guests in the house. Sister Esther, the interest of the masses is not in the mind of these people. Imagine the former speaker buying cars of 5 billion within 1 month in the office for the state assembly where the masses are crying for hunger. And these people are using taxpayers' money anyhow. May God save us from this, from the wicked leaders. Emmanuel from Ejesha. The standards round for an AK-47 rifle is 30 per magazine, not 200. Okay, thank you very much. I think the person is trying to tell you how many rounds is in an AK-47 rifle.
Is it sure it's 30?
The
That is
person
not
must
that this automatic shotgun. We have more than
maybe
that.
he's a military person.
Yeah,
Good evening.
more
The
than
terrorism charge against Nnamdi Kanu is annoying and satanic because IPOB remains a peaceful group. Leo from Lagos. Ken from Insecurity. Good evening, VOP crew. The Ministry of Livestock only came into being when the Fulanis via their Mieti Allah threatened the presidency that they have the ability to pull 12 million votes, hence stop the ABC from winning the presidency come 2027 elections, hence the formation of the ministry. It's purely political. Good evening, Esther, Mr. Ekundaya, and VOP family. Thanks for the good job you guys are doing. The headsman terrorists are only extending the Danfodia ideology swiftly. In the north, they hide and pretend under one religion, but dealing and grabbing their land of non-Fulanis, same thing in the south under one Nigeria. It's unfortunate the various nationalities can work together to address this. If we don't stop this, our children will face worse. May God save our land. Amechi from Mafaluku. All right. Just to comment on the pornography bill. It's actually a good idea, Shah, but it's not what we need now, not a pressing issue for now. In fact, NCC banning it is not even going to do much because there are ways to go around such. I think the government should focus first on issues that are currently the problem of the Nigerian people. Those countries that have passed such bills are already far ahead of us all. Misplaced priorities everywhere. Please, let's be guided in this country. Dr. Dave from VI. All right, Dr. Dave, thank you. Good evening, Esther. I love the way you present your program. Not using filler words, saying burr, 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 but pronouncing words correctly and professionally. Well done. Okay, thank you, Frank. I sincerely do appreciate that. All right, good evening to you and your guests in the studio. This is Abraham from Mafoluku. I don't have much to say today because I'm tired at this point. Nigeria is a joke. Even the devil and his demons would laugh us like this with everything that's happening now. Thank you. Bele, sorry. Good evening, VOP. Why is Mudashiru Obasa disturbing the lion dog for God's sake? President Tinubu should call him to order. People around were just watching. Wow. Mr. Ogumbi from Idimu. Chidi from Oshodi. VOP is truly the voice of the people and will surely be instrumental in making Nigeria fulfill her destiny. Which other prostitution is bigger than government officials stealing billions while the masses wallow in poverty? All right, Chidi, well done and thank you so much. Nigerian politicians are not there to do the will of the people. Instead, they're there for their own pocket and personal interest. Security is everyone's business. Wake up and protect yourself and family. God help us all. Linus offering from Ikeja. Thank you. I greet you, our dear guest and our dear lady with a golden sweet voice. Thank you very much. Whether we like it or not, there is no way we can take the spiritual out of the existence of man. Mammon, god of money, and Magog, god of war and immorality, that has taste for blood, has taken over the happenings in Nigeria. As some people have opened the door for them to coming through their allegiance to them, it will take the divine grace of Almighty God that will restore sanity into this country. God bless you all. Grandma Maggie from Ushudi. Thank you, Grandma Maggie. I sincerely appreciate your message. Good evening, my able hostess and the guest. Okosisi from Arochukwu. Not a card carrying member of IPOB, but I'm an IPOB member as long as I have Igbo identity. Whether anybody likes it or not, every Igbo man that is what that name is an indigenous Biafran. If they dub IPOP terrorist, they're saying that close to 80 million people are terrorists. They should release Nnamdi Kanu. Have a good night. Okosisi from Surulere. Good evening, Esther, our honorable guest, and Babeji from Ushudi. Please, Esther, there is something Nigerians are confused about. Nigerian APC government, Buhari and Tinubu's administration doing, planning, and intending to do with MNK. Because when he was abducted and brought back from Kenya, Buhari Tinubu's government says and insisted that it's only court that would decide his fate. Then after, the court freed him, but Buhari via the Supreme Court ordered that he should be held back into DSS custody for about 4 years now. Whereas all the people that had agitated and said worse things more than MNK had long been released unconditionally. But our almighty government will always free all the captured Boko Haram bandits, headsmen, saying that they are repentant. It's an injustice against MNK and Igbos. All right, thank you so much for your message. Good evening, Esther and Lawal. Email from Shasha Okunwajo. My take this night is that the Fulani headsmen are the golden child of the nation. So whatever they do is normal. It's not normal. Good evening, Madam Esther. Please ask your analyst why the National Assembly is not talking about the headsmen carrying AK-47. Or is it because they're from a certain region of the country? Again, if I buy my own AK-47 to protect my goats, hope police will not disturb me, Eddie Johnson from Agege. In the Lagos State House of Assembly, what happens to the former cars they were using? They will be telling us to tighten our belts while they are living flamboyant lifestyle. There is Godo. All right, thank you very much for that message. Okay, in Esther, I agree to you and your guest. It's unfortunate that the Lagos State House of Assembly has shown themselves as people's enemy, hearing the amount of money the so-called honorables have collected themselves. The citizens are dying of hunger, and these people are buying exotic cars for themselves with billions of naira of citizens' tax money at the expense of the people. What is paramount in their hearts is how to get as many cars as possible for themselves. It's highly unfortunate. Taiwo from Ejigbo. Good evening, Esther. Tinubu just trying to pull more votes by using youth alive to kill those. Whoa. Good evening, Esther. Headsmen are not terrorists. Don't need to arrest and. Okay, I'm sorry, Esther. I don't see any sense debating the ban of adult websites, not to create an idea for illegal debate. I remember when the Senate proposed death sentence on fake drug manufacturers and producers. People ignorantly screamed foul, asking if that was Nigeria's problem. Today, NDLEA is exposing trucks of fake drugs. Did the bill pass? People are facing the effect of fake drugs. Then again, since the arrest of Ekpa, have you noticed increase in attacks by Fulani terrorists in the southeast? This is why I was telling people then to be careful what they wish for. Now the wild card is out of the way. The door has been opened for wild invading rats and other unscrupulous rodents to wreak havoc across the land. As the people cry, helpless with the mindset of numbered days. Tay. Good evening, Madam Esther Wachuku and the guest analyst in the studio. On River State case, Fubara should tread with caution. On insecurity, Nigeria government knows about it. Esther, have a nice time. Prince Samuel Ofobisi Oji from Ajegunle, Akpakpa, Lagos. Have a good evening. Have a good evening to you too. Declare war against these Fulani terrorists every part of the country. Billy from Ikontu. Okay, from Lagos, Ondo, Edo, Oshun, Benue Rivers, Enugu to Ebonyi, Southern Kaduna, etc. I'm speechless. I wait for Nigeria. Send Vicade from Ikontu. All right. Is this Daya from Fagba? Daya, I've read your message before. Please tell the headsmen that they must not go to Ezihite in Bise, Imo States, and self-defense is the way. Hi, Esther. Very soon, everyone is going to arm his or herself for self-defense. But for government to protect us as a citizen, it is not going to work. Even soldiers are shielding headsmen. Then what security are we talking about? Good evening, Esther and Mr. Ekundaya. Everybody should do their best to protect their community. Don't allow criminal headers to overrun your community. Anaklet Anabunwa from Alagbado. Wow, I finished all the messages. Thank God. All right, I think I can take 1 or 2 calls. All right, 1 or 2 calls. I'm expecting a live appearance today, but I don't know. The person hasn't arrived. It's supposed to be for 8:55. All right, hello. You can actually call 080-3692-9933, 080-3692-9933. Hello, good evening to you. How are you? What's your name?
How are you, sir?
I'm fine, sir. Good evening.
This is Mommy Oyeka from Ekoto.
Oh, Momo Oyeka. Welcome.
Please, Esther, what of Precious?
Precious is fine. She's doing okay.
She have got out of DOT.
Well, anything can happen. She may decide to return. She may decide to come back. But for now, she's okay.
God is your strength.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. That's the number. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello?
Can you turn down the volume of your radio set, please? It's very important. Thank you. Hello? All right. Please, when you turn down the volume of your radio, maybe you can call back if there is still time. Hello, good evening. How are you? Turn down the volume of your radio, please. It's very important that you turn it off. All right? Okay? Hello, Mr. Joval. Good evening.
Esther.
How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you today?
I am fine, Mr. Joval.
My regards to the gentleman in the studio.
Mr.
He's not a regular
Kandara.
Tuesday.
Good evening, sir.
He's not a regular Tuesday man.
Yes.
Wow. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
You have done very well with your analysis today, especially regarding that of Lagos State House of Assembly. To be honest, I don't know why we have people who are supposed to be lawmakers, whether they don't understand what it means to make law. For you to make law, first of all, you have to be a law-abiding person. You cannot make law if you're not law-abiding. You don't understand law. So that is ditto to the National Assembly as well. Because it is very perturbing, it is very disturbing that we have those who are supposed to be making laws for us, living lawlessness, and you find them with issues of accusation of one or two other misappropriation of funds, sexual abuses and all that. You can imagine. So how are they supposed to be making laws for us? Now look at it. They are talking about pornographic banning, right? Is that not what the news says?
Yes. They want to make those websites unaccessible. They say it's causing moral and cultural decadence, and it causes addiction.
What is causing moral decadence and addiction in this country is that they are stealing our money. They thief our money. Allegedly, you say you should be putting allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
They steal our money. Do you know what they do? They are the ones causing moral decadence in society because look at them. They are buying Jeep of 160 million naira that they will drive on the road. When children are seeing the things, our children are not even interested in pornographic. See, this is the least of the problem. You cannot continue to ban sites because you feel they are causing problems. There are people who those things appeal to. So what they should do is to begin to live a life that is of standard. How can you be buying Jeep, messing around with our monies? Then you think you are that when you ban pornographic, how many persons are even going to that site? Have they eaten enough? Do they have money to buy data? Didn't they see that what is going on now about our data? These people don't have anything to offer.
All right, Joval.
Now,
thank
finally,
you.
I don't know if I still have a
exhausted.
second.
No. You've exhausted your time.
Okay,
please.
it's no problem. It's no problem.
Thank you so much, Joval. Thank you for calling. Okay, we'll take. I'm actually waiting for a live appearance. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello.
It's only God that can fix the heart.
Hello. 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 All right, kindly call us back because no introduction. I don't even know if you're speaking with me or you're speaking with someone else. All right, the number to call is 080-3692-9933, 080-3692-9933. That's the number. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name? Turn down the volume of your radio set. It's very important, please. Thank you. Hello, have you done that? Kindly do that as soon as possible. Hello? You haven't turned down the volume of your radio set, so maybe if you have time, you call back. If not, maybe tomorrow. 080-3692-9933. When you call, turn down the volume of your radio set so we can hear you clearly, okay? Hello? Hello? I don't know what's the problem with not turning down your radio set. 080-3692-9933. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello? Okay, this is a drop call. 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. Turn down the volume of your radio set, please. Hello, turn down the volume of your radio set. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good evening, sir. What's your name?
My name is Osadebe.
Osadebe, location, please.
I'm calling from Orisumbari.
All right. Go ahead.
First of all, the assemblymen. I think these guys are bereft of ideas on what it takes to be legislators. 2 weeks ago, we are hearing of defection. But because the federal government has given them license to do at will, as for the case in River State, that when you defect, you can still be. That is why they are still toying with that idea. I don't see why defection should be the issue. If you are elected to represent your people, come out there, forget about Baba Sobe. Tell them that we don't want this man or we want this man, that this is what my constituents say. And you will do something. But this idea of coming and you want to, go with the crowd, it does not make you a man of your own. On the issue of Fubara should be his man, remain where he is. And Wike, by the grace of God, will be flushed out of that place. He has made him persona non grata. He cannot enter River State anymore.
But there was a meeting today the president had with them, Pandef. Wike was invited for that meeting.
If they want to impeach, let him put Wike down. That's my contribution for this night, Esther.
All right, thank you very much. I think that's a final call this evening. It's precisely 8:58, so we need to wrap up. Mr. Lawal Ikundayo, what's your final take?
My final take, as I always say, is that Nigerians should not lose hope.
Okay.
Don't say because we are experiencing all these things, therefore we should just give up. No, we should re-strategize.
All right.
And see how we, the masses, can take power. How we take power is to put the right people there.
All right.
And when we put the right people there, then our voice will be heard and they will do what our will wants them to do. So we should not give up. Election is coming. Even if you are poor, you have not eaten, and somebody gave you money to vote for that person, you should tear it and throw it into that person's face to let you know that you are no more a slave.
All right.
You want leaders. You want to be saved, and it is in your hands. It's in your hands. That's it. So don't let us give up. That's my own.
Mr. Lawal Ikundayo, I sincerely want to appreciate you for coming in today. You've actually been quite consistent. Maybe hopefully tomorrow, I don't know. But I would love you to keep on coming for the program. You give us very good analytical insights into these topics. Also, I want to say a special thank you to Lolo Chimeze. She was so fantastic and amazing. She gave us assessment of the current security situation in Enugu State, because that's where she is at the moment, and she preferred her own recommendation as to how things should be dealt with in that regard. So all of you who called and sent your messages, thank you so much for joining us right here on At Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Machiko. You can follow me across social media. On Instagram is at Esther Nwaz, ESTANWAZ. On X, that's formerly known as Twitter, is at Esther Machiko. And obviously on Facebook is at Esther Machiko. And Estic Media, ESTIQMEDIA on YouTube. Mr. Lawal Ikundayo, what's your social media handle?
Lawal Ikundayo.
Lawal Ikundayo, just on Facebook?
Yes.
Are you on Instagram as well?
Yes, before, but I've not been there for a while.
Well, you need to reactivate.
Busy. Yes,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Do have yourself an amazing evening, and I will see you tomorrow.